Hey everyone, Michelle here. And honestly, I cannot believe I am standing here looking at a draft board where the Kansas City Chiefs are sitting at number 9. It feels like a glitch in the Matrix, my friend. For nearly a decade, this team has been picking so late in the first round that the commissioners usually have to wake up the janitors just to announce the pick. But after that 6-11 nightmare in 2025, here we are. The last time the Kingdom had a pick in this neighborhood, 3-second dramatic pause. They traded up to 10 for a kid named Patrick Mahomes. Before that, Eric Fisher at number 1 back in 2013. History shows when Veach and Reed pick this high, they don't just find a starter, they find a cornerstone. Tinking pause, click of the tongue. But man, the draft experts are all over the place on this one. And some of these takes, if you think some of these mock drafts make sense, you're watching a different sport. Let's dive into the trenches because that's where the soul of the Chiefs dynasty lives. First up, we gotta talk about Mel Kiper. Mel is out here banging the drum for Jeremiah Love, the running back out of Notre Dame. A running back at 9? Mel, buddy, did you lose my phone number? Love is a freak, don't get me wrong. 1,372 yards and 18 touchdowns in 2025. Kiper is saying his agility is like Bijan Robinson, and he brings a totally new element to the offense. And with Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt hitting free agency and Eric Bieniemy back in the building as OC, I get the logic. But listen, you don't take a running back at 9 when your pass rush just finished 23rd in the league. Scoff. That is luxury pick behavior for a team that currently has a strenuous cap situation. Before I lose my mind over the positional value of running backs, do me a favor. Hit subscribe, smash that like, and I need to see your takes in the comments. Am I crazy, or is taking an RB at 9 a total disaster for a rebuilding defense? Tell me what you think below. Whisper, confidential. I talked to a source inside the building, 3-second dramatic pause, and they told me the internal grades on the edge rushers this year are the highest we've seen since the Hutchinson draft. We aren't looking for a scat back at 9, we're looking for someone who can put Joe Burrow on his back. That leads me to Matt Miller's projection, David Bailey from Texas Tech. Now we're talking. Bailey led the country in sacks. He's 6'3", 250 pounds, maybe a bit light for what Steve Spagnuolo usually likes in his heavy-end prototypes. But man, his get-off is electric. Miller says he could be a day-one impact player. Thinking pause, click of the tongue. Honestly, if Bailey falls to 9, Veach should sprint to the podium so fast he leaves skid marks on the floor. Some mocks have him going as high as 3rd. If he's there at 9, it's a gift from the football gods. One scout told me his bend around the corner is elite. We're talking sub 4.6 40 speed with the closing burst of a heat-seeking missile. But wait, there's more. Mike Renner is looking at Ruben Bain Jr. from Miami. Renner calls him implacablemente disruptivo. He's got that explosive first step, but the insider talk is all about his wingspan, or lack thereof. He's going to have to prove at the combine that he can handle the long-arm stabs of NFL tackles. Whisper, confidential. Another source, this one close to the coaching staff, whispered to me, Spags is obsessed with heavy hands and anchor strength this year. If Bain shows he can set the edge in a wide 9 set, he's the guy. If not, they might look elsewhere. Dynamic pacing, rapid-fire, energetic pivot. And ESPN is throwing a curveball with Francis Mauigoa, the tackle from Miami. Deep breath in, exhale. This makes too much sense, which is why nobody is talking about it. With JAWAAN Taylor potentially being a salary cap casualty, we need a guy who can play right tackle at an elite level. Mauigoa is a mountain of a man with fast hands and the athleticism to pull in space. Quick, dry laugh. If you think Mahomes can survive another year with the league's most penalized tackle protecting his blind side, you haven't been paying attention. One rival GM told me Kansas City is desperate for a clean pocket. Mauigoa is the safest pick in the top 10. He's a 10-year starter the day you draft him. Slow, heavy, serious analysis. So what's the move? Thinking pause. Honestly, I think Veach is hunting the alpha on defense. The Chiefs lost 12 of their last 18 games ending 2025. The defense lost its bite. You don't get that back by drafting a safety or a linebacker. You get it back with a guy like David Bailey or Reuben Bain Jr. Whisper confidential. I heard a quote from a scout who just left the Miami Pro Day, 3-second dramatic pause, and he said Mauigoa is the floor for KC, but Bain is the ceiling. If they want to return to the Super Bowl in 2026, they need the ceiling. Scoff. Listen, the draft experts love to talk. That's why they make a living at it, right? But until the cards are turned in on April 23rd, it's all smoke and mirrors. Andy Reid is keeping his ears open and his mouth shut. You know he's looking at those wide zone scheme fits. Kingdom, I need to know if you're Brett Veach and Love, Bailey, and Mauigoa are all on the board at 9. Who are you taking? Are you protecting the $500 million man with Mauigoa, or are you hunting QBs with Bailey? Dynamic pacing, ramping up the energy. I'm Michelle, and this is the Kingdom Network. We reload, we rebuild, we reign. But right now, we just gotta make sure we don't blow the best pick we've had in a decade. How about those Chiefs? Deep breath, exhale. See you in the comments, and stay locked in for the next insider drop as the Combine madness continues.